The name of this song is Don't Let the Old Man In. You know, there was something about this song that I have to share with you. You see how I felt when I heard it the first time and I listened to the lyrics. Oh, I always say every song is a message. And sometimes when I find a song like this one that I can relate to, I like to do a little explanation and kind of explain what's going on in my mind, you know. Well, since I am now 77 years old, I really don't want to let that old man in just quite yet, you know. Well, I did some research, and it appears Mr. Keith revealed how Clint Eastwood inspired him to write that particular song, Don't Let the Old Man In. Well, I read somewhere that Mr. Keith, who was 62, remembered a conversation he had with Mr. Eastwood, who was, I believe, 93 at that time. They gave him the idea to write that song, Don't Let the Old Man In. Well, the country music icon said it happened during the time that Mr. Eastwood was filming a movie called The Mule that was back in 2018, I believe. Well, it was a movie about a 90-year-old horticulturist and a Korean War veteran. You see, he turned drug mule for a Mexican cartel, and that particular song actually, I guess, ended up in the film. Well, it's an interesting story how this song came to be. Mr. Keith said when he asked Mr. Eastwood what he was going to do on his birthday, he said he was going to go shoot a movie. And he asked him, well, what do you do to keep yourself going? And Mr. Eastwood said, I try to get up and be productive and don't let that old man in. Yes, I remember reading someplace that there wasn't a dry eye in the house when Mr. Keith performed that particular song at the 2023 People's Choice Awards back in September of 23. It's a tear-jerking ballad, no matter what the circumstances, but adding to the emotional experience was the fact that Mr. Keith had been battling stomach cancer for more than 2 years at the time. He revealed in June of 2022 that he was diagnosed with the disease, and the previous fall he spent 6 months undergoing treatment, chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. Well, Mr. Keith went home to be with the Lord on February 5th, 2024. Well, friends, I want to thank you for listening to this. And if you would please share it with others, I guess we all reach a point in our life and we need to try and, well, keep that old man away as long as we can. And like I always say, I know I'm not the best singer, but that's okay. It's a message in the song. And again, thank you for listening, and may God bless you and watch over you. Don't let the old man in. I wanna live me some more. Can't leave it up to him. He's knocking on my door, and I know all of my life that someday it will end. Get up and go outside, and don't let that old man in. Many moons I have lived, my body's weathered and worn. Ask yourself, how old would you be if you didn't know the day you were born? Try to love on your wife and stay close to your friend. Toast each sundown with wine, and don't let the old man in. When he rides up on his horse and you feel that cold bitter wind, look out your window and smile, and don't let that old man in. Look out your window and smile, and don't let that old man in.